On today's breakdown, I'm going to talk a little bit about the media colluding with Biden's White House, Biden's utter failure of vaccine mandates, and why Elon Musk is saying that Joe Biden should discard his horrible Build Back Better plan. That's coming up on the breakdown. Seemingly in an effort to build back trust with the public after they failed again and again to utilize even an ounce of objectivity during President Trump's time in office, CNN reported that the Biden White House has been having secret behind-the-scenes meetings with journalists and producers from major media outlets in order to reshape coverage of economic issues and to make it more positive for President Biden. Boy, talking about putting lipstick on a pig. One of my writers reported being in line behind a mom at a supermarket just yesterday and noticing that the tab for her cart of groceries was over $270. And this wasn't an upscale store or gourmet items, just regular food. I can't wait to see the Biden-loving media. I'm sure they're going to try to convince us that that's a good thing, as is the fact that half the store shelves were empty, or that it probably cost her another $80 to gas up her SUV and take those groceries home. But put aside the gaslighting aspect of this. How creepy is it that Biden's people are meeting with the media to shape their coverage of Joe Biden? And the media is actually going along with it. As Western Journal reports, in an interview between CNN's Brian Stelter and Oliver Darcy, Darcy revealed that the conversations were taking place between the White House and prominent media members, and went on to say that the Biden administration's basic argument is that the country's economy is in much better shape than it was last year, and that the conversations have been productive, with anchors and reporters and producers getting to talk with the officials. Well, here's a riddle for you. What's the difference between our media and the North Korean state media? Answer? You don't know either, huh? Yeah. Well, President Biden might be having trouble on most fronts, but at least he's batting 1,000 on his vaccine mandates, because as of Tuesday, every last one of them has been blocked nationwide by the courts. On Tuesday, a third federal judge issued a nationwide preliminary injunction halting the enforcement of President Biden's vaccine mandate for federal contractors and subcontractors. This quickly follows court rulings blocking his mandates on healthcare workers and on businesses with 100 or more employees. Vaccine mandates are also getting some pushbacks on lower levels. Even as he's being pushed out the door of the mayor's office, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is still issuing draconian COVID orders, including a vaccine mandate for all private sector workers and vaccine passport requirements for children as young as 5. But any New Yorkers who might still have the gumption to tell him where to put it and take him to court, well, they might be encouraged by this story. A New York Supreme Court judge just put a temporary block on de Blasio's vaccine mandate on all the New York City police officers. The order blocks the mandate being enforced until after a hearing to show cause. That's set for December 13th. If the plaintiffs can just stretch this out past January 1st, which shouldn't be hard with our court system, maybe sanity will return to New York City Hall and the case will be moot. On the topic of Joe Biden's colossal failures, Tesla founder Elon Musk may have made a lot of money off electric cars, but he still doesn't support Joe Biden's Build Back Better bill, even though it spends a lot of money subsidizing electric vehicles and building more charging stations. At a Wall Street Journal economic event, Musk said, quote, "Honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation," Musk said. He added that the government should be a referee, not a player on the field, and it ought to get out of the way and not impede progress. He said the vast majority of rules and regulations live forever. There's not really an effective garbage collection system for removing rules and regulations, so this just hardens the arteries of civilization where you're able to do less and less over time. Well, actually, we did have a system for hauling away garbage rules and regulations, but he got replaced by Joe Biden. President Biden's bill includes $7,500 subsidies for buying electric vehicles, plus an extra $4,500 if it's union made, which Teslas aren't. That seems to me like you're just using our tax money to rig the market in favor of Democrats supporting unions. Musk pointed out that Teslas sell with no subsidies, and said there shouldn't be any government subsidies, not even for building the charging stations. He pointed out that gas stations get built and they don't have government subsidies. He also said we can't keep spending trillions of dollars we don't have and then creating new entitlement programs when we already don't know how we're going to keep Medicare and Social Security funded. I wonder if Congress will even pay attention to what he said. Highly doubtful. He's speaking common sense, and that is a language they're just not familiar with. Well, if you don't want to become like those knuckleheads in Congress and instead you'd like to be familiar with common sense, then you got a real simple choice. Subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a comment below. By the way, tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. We're going to have the Live with Mike live stream. I'll be discussing the news and I'll be answering your questions live right here. Now, if you want more of my news analysis and commentary, here's how to get it. Sign up for my newsletter on MikeHuckabee.com. You don't pay a thing for it. It's totally free. That's going to do it for this edition of The Breakdown. I'm Mike Huckabee.